Microphone check, microphone check. Hey, this is the world's most popular barbershop talk, man cave conversation. However you like it or just like it. This is the Heavyweight Champion Sports Talk Podcast. This is Opinionated Facts. We're your back. I got my boys back with me in the building. A partner in crime, the redhead assassin, Mr. Red himself, Brandon Rudolph. Along with us, we got S. Rudolph, another, what he called himself the honorary co-host.
Yeah. Big shot Bob, a.k.a. honorary co-host.
AKA wishy-washy Wi-Fi.
My Wi-Fi going to be suspect today. I'm on taxpayer dollars.
We are all still in quarantine mode, so we're all not together recording in the studio as always. How you guys doing? How's your week?
Week was great, man. Getting a lot of stuff done around the house. I made the kids watch the Jordan. Well, I keep saying the Jordan, but The Last Dance. It's not about Jordan. It's about the team. But I made the kids watch it last night. They made it through the first one. They asked a lot of questions, which I thought was great. But they fell asleep on the second one. I was mad about that. I let them have ice cream after the first one was over. They ate the ice cream, fell asleep like 10 minutes into it. I was a little mad about that. So they asked a lot about Dennis Rodman. Like, who's that? Why did you do that to the player?
You don't tell them about that one.
Nah, it was so much cursing though, man. I was a lot of F words and Horace Grant kept calling people B words. It was tough.
You could have watched ESPN too. That's the clean version.
Nah, I wanted to see the real.
Yeah, 'cause you don't want to miss out, but then you don't want to play the raw one, the raw and uncut one.
Yeah, so I didn't know which one to let them watch. So I said, I recorded the clean one. We're gonna watch the clean. I recorded the non-edited one, so we went with those. But they loved it. Aiden was cheering like they were just playing the Cleveland game. He was cheering for the Cavaliers. Jordan.
Because I forgot Elo. That's a big bucket by Elo to go up one.
Simple play too. Simple, easy play. Got a wide open layup off that.
Got right to the back.
Aiden was like, I want Cavaliers to win. LeBron played for Cavaliers. I want them to win.
I'm surprised he even recognized them Cavaliers. They were
he
different
did
colors.
I don't know how he recognized them.
So now, after 4 shows in.
Oh, but my bad. No, you didn't. That's some more. I asked him how his week was. I answered it, and I started talking about my kids, and we started talking Jordan, and then boom, takes off.
Oh,
I didn't want to do that to him.
But Jordan's growing on you, I see.
How the hell is he growing on me? I got all his damn sneakers. He's not growing. I've always been a fan. I just was a Barkley fan. I was a Charles Barkley guy. I wasn't a Michael Jordan fan. I mean, I wasn't a Michael Jordan guy. I was a Michael Jordan fan. Everybody's a Michael Jordan fan. I like the guy. Oh, well, unless you're Isaiah Thomas, unless you're that guy, then you don't like him. But I always liked the guy. I got posted him. I got his jerseys. I got all kinds of stuff. MJ. I was a Barkley guy. That's all it is. I'm a LeBron guy.
We'll revisit that. S. Rudolph, how was your week?
Good, man. I just left Friday hangouts to Friday hangouts. That's the highlight of my weeks now. Get my little sip. Besides that, every day feels like Sunday. That's I'm working.
Zoom hangouts are your highlights of the week.
Yeah, man. Get my little lick. I'm a social guy. I don't drink by myself.
Yeah, you might change that as you get older. You're approaching 40.
Still a young man.
So coming away from show 3 and 4 of The Last Dance, I'll call it the Jordan documentary because that's the most important part. That's the most important part of the documentary. Everything else is cute, but everything else about Jordan there is great because it's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't normally see or we haven't saw in a while. What's some of your takeaways from it?
The Rodman episode was dope. I mean, it's exactly what you thought, though. Like, a lot of the stuff I thought about Rodman, besides the one about the gun in the car, I didn't know that story. I never heard that story. So that was different here.
They give you Rodman in a real small nutshell. Basically, it was that year. But you see that Rodman 30 for 30, you knew how he was really living. You didn't get no information. The going to bed made the episode.
Oh, my God, man. Phil letting him go, though, like that, to me, was yo, Phil's a cool dude. Like, I want to hang out with Phil.
Well, he's a mind guy. He reads people, and he was like, and plus I think Phil was the same dude when he played. Going acid.
I mean,
Robin's like, look, I kept it straight and narrow till Pip got back. I need a break. He's like, Mike, he needs a break.
yeah, he's like,
well, one of the most impressive parts was that, well, first of all, Phil called in Jordan. Like, yo, what are we gonna do with this guy? Like, should we let him go? He asked Michael Jordan that question. He's the coach.
Like, no. If anybody need a break, I need a break.
I felt Jordan on that. Like, come on. What do you need a vacation for? You're playing wingman right now.
They should have said when it was during the season now. I want to know if that was an all-star break.
Yeah, if it was around the all-star break or early in the season. I guess we just find that out.
Like they came back, got they were conditioning, getting back in shape. I feel like it was on a break somehow.
Either way, man, that was, I don't know. I've never heard of anyone, like, it almost seems like LeBron did that a couple of years back when he took 2 weeks off. Remember he had
back injury. He went to Miami.
Yeah, I feel like that was like, but we know LeBron don't get down like Rodman does, but
on tape at least.
Well, yeah, I mean, but man, oh man, Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
She's still bad.
They call her the original Kardashian.
Yo, she is still a bad one. Oh my goodness. And he was hanging out with her. She was like, oh, he party hard. Like, if she's saying that.
I'm about to say, if she's saying that this guy party hard, he must have party hard.
Must have partied real hard.
Here's the thing about, well, one of the funny part was Jordan had to go get him. Now, I did more research because you called me out on that last night in our group chat saying that he didn't go to Vegas.
I didn't think he went to Vegas to get him.
He didn't go to Vegas.
Across the street.
Yeah, Rodman had 2 apartments in Chicago, one close to the practice facility and one close to the game, the United Center.
See, I told you he went to his house to get him.
So the guy was on
I didn't
Dylan Jacoby today, and he's told the story. The guy's doing a documentary. He said that he was across the street from United Center, and then Jordan went over and grabbed him by his nose ring.
Yeah, and the big part, but Carmen was there. Carmen Electra was there and still ran away from him.
But see, Jordan said he wasn't going to say who was there. He said, I'm not going to say who was there, who he was with, or where he was at, but he knew Carmen Electra was there. He
came out and said she was naked, hiding behind the jump.
Look, man, this is so much clear. The fact that Jordan could win amongst all this chaos that was going on that year further proves his greatness.
Well, he ain't the only one that goes through that. I mean, a lot of teams had their problems behind closed doors.
I think they were together all them years. I don't think that would have been an issue.
I'm talking about that combined with Krause, combined with Phil not coming back.
Why does nobody
every day? Combined with Pippen sitting out half the year. Like, there's a lot going on for them to three-peat.
Pippen really didn't miss that long. He came back in early January?
Yeah. That's a significant amount of time.
Why is it that Jordan got his own episode, the first episode?
You got more to come.
But then he gets half an episode of everybody that has one. So Pippen had one. Rodman had one. He got half of their episode. He got his own episode, the first one.
You know what? It is about Jordan. Nobody watches.
It's not supposed to be about Jordan now. It's not a Jordan documentary. It's a Bulls documentary.
It is, but Jordan is the Bulls.
Does anybody care about anybody else really? Like a Pippen documentary would be.
Pippen got fans. Cool. Rodman got fans. There's some big time. Those are the big time players.
Rodman gets
the bad boys fans. You think the bad boy fans hate Rodman now for going to the Bulls?
Nah, they love Rodman, man.
They still love him.
He's forever a bad boy.
Yeah, they love Rodman.
That was an interesting part of the documentary. About
all those other guys went somewhere else and played. Like John Sally played for the Bulls.
John Sally did play for the Bulls. John Sally and Mike were cool though. They had a relationship.
They were the same fraternity.
I will say one thing.
The mighty Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Isaiah Thomas is a real hater. Like I used to hear him on TV. He used to say, "Oh, LeBron this and LeBron that. LeBron's the best player. He's better than Jordan." And I always felt like it was hate in his voice when he said it, because he can't say it because he can't. He's a bad Detroit bad boy. So I get it.
None of the Detroit guys ever said Mike was the greatest until last night when John Sally said it on SportsCenter.
But John, I don't know. John, I need a better person than John.
But John never would say. He would always say, "Nah, it ain't Jordan."
I need somebody that wasn't in Video Vixen's book. I need somebody that wasn't in that book, man, to tell me that. And John Sally got high accolades in that book, though.
See,
he had his own talk show and everything. He's popular, man.
Yeah.
I don't. But the biggest part about Rodman in that doc was how he adapted to coming in there and playing with Jordan, Pippen, and letting Phil take him under his wing like he did. He could have did, like, he was coming from some rough times at that point. You remember Rodman with the crazy hair in San Antonio, looking all weird and doing dumb stuff?
Well, he wasn't right because he left Chuck Daly. Chuck Daly was like his father figure. He didn't have no father.
I was always shocked that, Rodman wasn't known for scoring. So one part of that doc that stuck out to me was he said he averaged 27 points in college.
Man, everybody in the NBA was a star at those levels.
I don't know. He averaged 27 in college. I mean, he went to a small NAIA school or whatever it was, but 27 is 27. That means you got to shoot. That means you got to get to the bucket. All things that we didn't see Rodman do.
Rodman was somewhat of an offensive player in Detroit.
What do you mean somewhat?
He was somewhat of an offensive player.
7 games with 20 rebounds and 0 points.
Yeah, he was doing turnaround jumpers in Detroit. And then when he got to Chicago, he looked funny even shooting. It's like he'd lost his memory or something. Like he didn't know how to shoot anymore. He was doing turnaround jumpers in Detroit.
I don't remember no turnaround jumpers in Detroit.
Yo, he was backing people down doing turnaround jumpers, yo.
But
what happened to that guy?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Nah, you know what though? He was still unapologetic for that kick to the groin on the cameraman. He still was like didn't really care.
Buddy, that cameraman milked it.
I said why he kicked him.
You're right. But that cameraman milked it. Like he got carried off in a stretcher.
Yo,
tired of holding this damn camera.
On a stretcher, man. They gotta call cars to get me out of there. They gotta call a medevac. They gotta get me on the helicopter.
He went off that job like Paul Pierce. Ran back in with the money bag.
Yo, man.
That's terrible, man.
He ain't gotta hold a camera no more. Dennis is gonna get sued.
So
I thought that was and Dennis didn't even care. He still didn't care about it. Yeah.
I wonder how much money total did Dennis Rodman pay in fines throughout his career?
Not as much as Mark Cuban. They didn't fine like that back then, man.
No.
Dennis always had a fine. Dennis always had a fine.
Yeah, because Dennis was doing some real stuff. Dennis was out there headbutting refs.
Yeah, I mean, Craig Sager gave him $100
from the season.
Huh?
You headbutt a ref today, you missed the whole season.
Yes.
What did the ref say to Rodman? He said, "I didn't see it, Dennis. I see all the shit you do, though."
Yeah.
I thought that was so messed up. Yo.
That was real. That was real.
I miss a lot of shit, he said.
I miss a lot of stuff, Dennis. But I see all the shit you do. That was a good one.
Oh, but Dennis definitely I didn't know he was that integral in whatever that word is.
Integral.
Yeah, of a part in that Bulls team. I thought he was just a little, rebounding and defense, but he seemed like he brought an extra gear to them.
Nah, you heard what he said. He don't know if they would have won it without him. I agree.
Rebounding and defense is a major part of a winning team. You need that guy.
You're right, but the energy he brought, the confidence he brought, like it was real. Like they might not. I always thought with or without Dennis they would have won. After watching that. Now I'm thinking,
I don't know. I do think that though, but Dennis was a major part,
especially guarding Karl Malone in those series.
Hey, so We'll get back to you guys after a quick break, and then we'll finish up this Jordan debate because we want to talk about how Jordan is still mad at Isaiah Thomas. But we'll be right back after these quick messages. Remember, you're listening to Opinionated Facts on the RTF Sports Network /TCP production. And we're back. You're listening to Opinionated Facts on the RTF Sports Network. So, one thing that really stuck out to me yesterday was Jordan's still has a problem with Isaiah Thomas. This beef is not.
Were you surprised?
I feel like in the last 30 years, they have a lot of mutual friends that should have been able to hash this thing out.
Man, Jordan's still not talking to Barkley, and they were once friends. He ain't never like Isaiah.
But now, him and Barkley were friends up for a while. He didn't like what Barkley was saying about his team. That's different.
I'm saying he's still not talking to Barkley over that. So you think he's going to talk to Isaiah?
Yeah, like this is 30 years ago. Like it's basketball at the end of the day.
That's a little selfish. Barkley really does like Jordan. You can tell. Like that was his boy.
But y'all comparing this era, like they was whooping Jordan's ass back then.
Yo, you know what I found out though? Jordan did some crying to the refs. I didn't know that. That was new for me to find out.
Jordan told him not to cry to the refs.
But he was crying. They said he did a lot of crying until the following year.
Well, and they also said that
Bill Lambercy did it, man. All he did was cry. The season was every time he played him, all he did was cry.
They were whooping his ass.
I know. I'm just saying. That's what he said. Jordan was crying to the refs.
They also said that Jordan made a statement in the press before how the Pistons were bad champions. It was a bad brand of basketball that was representing the NBA.
Facts.
So maybe that rubbed these guys the wrong way.
It should. Them guys won with how they played. They played their game, and that was the Jordan rule. And when it didn't apply and they were playing other teams, they didn't just beat the Bulls to go to the championship. They beat teams before and after Chicago to win these championships. So you can't say,
Celtics.
Okay, but you can't just say, oh, well, these guys they're bad champions. No, these guys won with the way they played. They deserve credit for that. You can't go into the media and say that kind of stuff about champions.
Yeah, but they were proud of it. Like, yeah, we was beating them up. We was like, yo, you're going to get fouled once, so foul them twice.
That's how they were winning that way, though.
Yeah, they were fouling guys in a way that you would be thrown out from. If you hit LeBron like that today, man, you would get 5 games.
Everything is about safety now. It was different then. It's just like football. Everything it didn't matter. You hit anybody anywhere. You could knock them out of the game they would knock them out of the game for a quarter. They were coming back with the concussion. It didn't matter then. That's what I'm saying. Everything is about safety now. So everything's changed.
I agree. That's why you got these days everybody's friends because you can go across the middle and somebody won't end your life. But back then the guys didn't.
Well, I think the refs are a little quick on the whistle these days too, man. If you go across their chest and they don't even fall, they're still looking at replay for a flagrant, and it's tough to play in that era, in this era.
They're trying to be that way.
In basketball, you go across the middle in football as a receiver, you don't get killed no more. Everybody's friends.
I mean, football's still a little worse. You can still at least hit.
Still get hit a little bit in football, but it ain't like it was.
No, you can't lunge at somebody and kill them across the middle.
The worst part about this era compared to that era, like you would think LeBron James would be more dominant back then with his body structure. Like they couldn't bully him around like that. Jordan had to go back to the weight room and get back in the weight room and like, yo, let me bulk up a little bit.
Yo, the Jordan lifting face is going to be the new crying Jordan meme.
Nah, the one that's out now is him looking at Isaiah's talking on the iPad.
Yo, that was so hilarious, yo. Yo, that was so hilarious. That was a good one.
And this insight into Jordan, like when he's sitting there talking, like this is definitely what you thought Jordan would be. Like cocky, like
what I liked about it though,
confident.
He knew exactly what Isaiah was going to say before he seen it.
Yeah.
So he called it. Yeah, he called it out, and then it was exactly what he said. He said, "Yeah, of course." He didn't want to watch it. He said, I mean, whatever. I know.
I already know. Nothing you can show me is going to change how I feel about him.
Yeah, and he kept him off. That's what's coming up on 5 and 6 at the Dream Team stuff. When Jordan kept him off the Dream Team, does Jordan admit? Does Jordan admit that he actually kept him off the Dream Team?
It's already public knowledge. Jordan said, "If he's on, I'm not on."
He say? Because he never admitted it, right? Before
we never heard it from Jordan's mouth.
Yeah, I never heard it come out of Jordan's mouth. Is my point.
Oh, but Jordan said he didn't really want to play a Dream Team anyway. He was tired, but they wanted everybody to go. But he said, "Isaiah's going. I ain't going."
So another interesting tidbit I want to point out here is some more animosity I saw between Doug Collins. Didn't want to talk about the Phil Jackson move too much. Do you think Phil was wrong? Did Phil step on his toes? Did Phil schmooze up to Jerry Krause and try to take his job at the right
Jerry
time?
Krause got Phil though. He had the best
job.
But he had to get that coach to hire him. He said, "Nah, I don't want him. I don't know nothing he's about." Brought a new coach in. Was like, "Yo, why don't you put him on the staff?" Doug Collins.
He probably got rid of Stan? Because he wouldn't hire Phil.
But think about Krause making that move, though. We're killing Krause right now, but he made some impressive moves.
See, but I don't think that's that impressive. I think he elevated Phil's career, yes. But I think Doug Collins would have got some championships with Jordan.
I do, too. But the fact that Phil was in Puerto Rico and in the CBA, he's like, "Hey, I want you on the staff, man." He's like, "Coach don't want him. Here, I got a new coach. This is how you got to dress. This is what you got to say."
Yeah. I mean, until he stopped getting the credit or didn't think he got the credit that he deserved. And with that being said, like Jerry did go find him from the CBA. So maybe Phil should have been showed more love to Jerry instead of.
I'm sure he did. You're talking about 87, 88 to 90, 98, 10 years and change the relationship real quick.
I mean, to the point where you go 82 and you're not coming back.
Yeah, that was some hate. There was some hate there. That wasn't like a mutual respect thing, but we got to part ways. That was, I don't like you, period.
It's either if somebody gave any of us our dream job with doing what we love to do and we were successful at it, we would always be in debt to that person and show love to that person. I don't think Phil was doing that.
Easy to forget, though. People always forget where they came from. I think the next part that's going to be interesting was Horace Grant. When Jordan said Horace Grant was the one leaking information. Now, Horace Grant's like, "I didn't leak nothing."
Yeah, I wonder how that relationship is now. It don't look good.
Yeah. I like they only had like one clip of Ron Harper so far, and he's like, "Man, they took me off Jordan and put Greg Elo on." He's like, "Man, F that."
He's still mad about it. He got 3 championships with the Bulls and was still mad about it.
He was mad for real. He said, "Man, this is Bulls."
That's the competitor that these guys are, man.
You know what,
don't
though?
realize it.
They're right, though. If Harper was having a better day on him, then why would they switch him at the end?
Elo just got the bucket, though.
So what? You can have him second best player in the world?
Yeah.
Well, they were doubling him, too. They tried to double him and not get the ball, not let him get the ball in his hand.
Elo didn't look like he was athletic enough. He didn't look
quick cut. He was too fast, man. He said, "Skirt."
Jordan was a superior athlete at that time.
Yo, he was. He looks like the athletes of this age now. Back then, running. That's why I said when I sent that text out to you guys about how he was just watching Kevin McHale and Parrish and them run the fast break. It was the slowest thing I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, Jordan, he should be having 63 on these guys. They were not athletes. Back then, if you were a good shooter, then you were a good basketball player. If you could shoot the ball well, Larry Bird, considered one of the all-time greats, he wasn't going to kill you with his athleticism. He wasn't an athlete. But he knocked the buckets down, so he was a great basketball player. If you could shoot, then you were a great basketball player. Jordan was the best athlete these guys had ever seen. Anybody.
Nah, there was a lot of athletes still back then.
He was quicker than everybody.
You can't pick McHale and Parrish out, those two guys, and say.
Well, they were Hall of Famers. I didn't think I'd pick them out of the air. They were Hall of Fame. They were Hall of Fame guys.
the big men back there weren't as skilled as they are today. Because the big men now shoot threes. But
I didn't bring up slouches. I brought up 2 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, but I'm saying you brought up a power forward and a center. Like those guys, the power forward.
Guys look terrible. Bird was with him. He was on the fast break with them in that video. They looked terrible.
Bird's a beast.
That was an old Bird, too.
Bird was a good shooter. Bird was a great shooter.
Bird was good at everything.
Bird was a great shooter.
Oh, yeah.
He knows he wasn't a great athlete. He'll tell you himself he wasn't a great athlete.
But he's a great basketball player.
He's a great basketball. I said back then, if you were a great shooter, you were a great basketball player. If you were a good shooter, you were a good basketball player.
I feel like you're downgrading Larry Bird.
How about downgrade one of the best players ever?
Because you're calling him not a good athlete.
No, it's with the times. It's like Bill Russell. Yeah, he's good. But if he played in the era now, I don't think he would have won 1 championship.
But you're forgetting that same era had teams with like the Lakers with Kareem and Magic and James Worthy. Those were athletes, man.
Magic was okay. He wasn't the greatest athlete you ever see.
Oh my God.
As far as athleticism goes, what are we comparing it to? Are we comparing the athletes of today? Because they couldn't do it. They couldn't hold it.
Magic was the first 6'9" guy that was handling the ball.
Point guard. Yeah, he could dribble. He could dribble and he could shoot. He wasn't out there doing windmills on people. He wasn't driving down the lane. He wasn't driving down the lane and going up from the dotted line, jamming on people. That happens.
Why you didn't do that in the 80s?
That happens almost
up on your back.
That happens almost on a daily basis in the league now.
Yeah, you can compare the eras. Because back then, like you run a little slower, but you can get clothesline coming through the lane.
No, man, there was nobody out there clothesline people.
There's a lot of guys that wouldn't be able to get points today, but if you were that physical, they played back in the 80s.
Boston was physical too. Boston was beating up Pistons. That's why the Pistons couldn't get past them. It was just generations of different eras. We can't compare
your talent level is what your talent level is, and they weren't athletes. They didn't have the athleticism. A lot of those guys, not like I'm saying. You guys are comparing. If you just compare it, don't have to compare how the style of play. Compare the athleticism. You don't see it. You didn't see it then.
Listen,
you had a few guys.
You could say these guys are running around now like gazelles couldn't handle the physicality back then.
Your Wi-Fi.
They wouldn't be able to score in that kind of.
Your Wi-Fi cut out. So I'm not sure what you said.
The same way you're comparing guys, these guys today, these gazelles running around probably wouldn't be able to score with the 80s physicality.
Man, the athletes we have now, you're telling me that Kevin Durant and LeBron James and Steph Curry and whoever else you want to put on there.
You're taking the best athletes from this era and acting like every athlete's like that. It's not.
30 years from now, they're going to look back and say, well, LeBron wasn't an athlete. No, he wasn't that good.
That's never going to happen.
How can you say that? People would have said that 30 years ago.
Happen. I mean, Kobe came up. He was athletic. That was what, 90, whatever, 90? He was an athlete. I mean, Dominique Wilkins played in the Jordan era. He was an athlete. He was athletic.
You're arguing our point.
The Wilkins could play in this era. I'm saying Kevin McHale, Parrish, Lambeer, those guys could not play in this era and be successful.
There are not too many skilled big men now. How do you say that they can't play in this era?
They couldn't play in this era.
If you put them 7-footers on the block, who's going to stop them?
Themselves, because they running molasses. They would have somebody.
Games changed to a 3-point game now, though. But there's not many big men in the NBA anymore. They are back to the basket.
Man, they couldn't have played in the Twin Tower era.
You're crazy. Both of them would have played and fit in just well in this era.
Who?
Parrish and
Get out your mind. They be bums. If they had to play in this area, they wouldn't be Hall of Famers.
Might not be
a lot of guys that played in that era, if they had to play now, would not be Hall of Famers. I'm not just saying Kevin McHale and Parrish. That was just my example because the video that I've seen on the documentary. That's the only reason why I brought those guys up. But even seeing Kareem, yeah, he was 7'5". Of course he's going to score when the guy that's 6'9" guarding him. Yes, he's going to score.
Well, if LeBron was in that era, he might not even be in the Hall of Fame. He might have got beat up.
Stop.
But We got to take another break. We'll be right back. Remember, you're listening to Opinionated Facts on the RTF Sports Network /TC Pre-Production. We'll be right back. And we're back. You're listening to Opinionated Facts on the RTF Sports Network /TCP Production. All right, let's switch gears here. It was a big weekend also for the NFL. We got the NFL first virtual draft. I like the virtual draft because I really like seeing the inside of these coaches' homes and the GM's homes. They might have something here. Might be able to stick with that.
Some of them those man caves were weak.
Yeah, Belichick would look like he was sitting at a house in the middle of East King Street. Like it looked bad.
How would you expect Belichick?
Huh?
How would you expect Belichick's house to look? That's like your grandfather.
I did. I expected it like that. Like it looked exactly what you thought, but it was like he didn't care about the setup. He had one laptop. He had a dog. The table looked like it was from 1980. Like it was as bad as it got. And
still got a box TV.
Too, man.
And, you look at that Cliff Kingsbury, and it's like, this guy lived a life.
He was throwing out them thirst traps.
Yo, he was stunting. He's a
young bachelor, man. First of all, Kingsbury would never get to Belichick's level. But if he did ever get there, one of the reasons he won't get there is because his house looks like his house looks. He cares too much about other stuff.
Like that sounds like hate, man.
You can't be that successful. No, I'm serious. These guys are nuts, man. Like when you see these obsessed coaches and stuff, like they're not worried about their house designs. He's a bachelor.
I know. Yeah, he's always cared about his
appearance. When you think about your next piece, you do things like that.
Nah, you don't have time for that when you're trying to win. That's why he wasn't successful anywhere he's been yet. He's too worried about his looks and trying to be the pretty boy.
First of all, he has to be somewhat successful. He's getting jobs, big ones.
No, that's a joke. He has not been successful.
You don't get an NFL job without being successful somewhere. I know that. I'll tell you that right now.
Sean McVay effect.
If he was black, he wouldn't have a head coaching job right now.
Well, he's not black. He's not black, so it doesn't matter. Why are you bringing it up? Not an argument.
It's the truth.
No, you don't know that. You brought it up and then just say it out of nowhere like, it's a race thing. He's black. If he's black, he want to get the job. No, stop, man. Stop with the racist. The racist comment.
Sean McVay got him that job because everybody wanted the next Sean McVay. He fit the bill.
How?
Yeah. He was young.
He was young because he was young and white.
He was young. He was young and offensive minded. Why would you say young and white?
Because that's what he was. That's the only thing they had in common.
No.
He had no NFL experience. Like
no, they wanted an innovative offense, wide open air raid.
McVay had an NFL background. Like he came up through the NFL ranks.
He was 33 years old, 32.
The only thing they have in common.
How much can you possibly know?
The only thing they have in common.
Exactly. Don't downplay him like that. His dude.
I'm not downplaying McVay. McVay is legit. Kingsbury's the joke.
No, he's not a joke. His guy knows football.
Yeah,
you don't get an NFL job without knowing football.
He should be a great offensive coordinator at USC right now. That's where he should be. Not the head coach. We're getting off topic. Bottom line is, Belichick's house looks like a winning house.
No, it did not look like a winning house. He looked like he lost everything in the stock market.
Kingsbury's house.
He looked like
Kingsbury's house looked like he's not going to be there too long.
Nah, he got that kitchen table at a yard sale.
Probably got a nice. Probably got it for a nice price.
Yeah, guaranteed. Belichick, this great coach. What's up with him not taking a quarterback in the draft? They're going to go with Jarrett Stidham.
Oh, segue.
Stidham was good at Auburn. Stidham was good at Auburn. Now he's a big time player.
Oh my God! You stamping him? You stamping him?
As far as a good college player, yeah, he was a good college player. I don't know what he's going to do in the NFL, but we only have tape on him from college. And I'm going with he was a good college player.
You said big time.
You're going into the season.
Yo, he played SEC football, B-Way. That's not big time.
You going in with Jarrett.
I mean, there's other players out there. For me, no. There's Cam Newton still out there. Jameis Winston just signed or about to sign, but he was out there. I would have somebody come in. Now, whether or not that person would be the starter, I don't know.
I think it's going to be Andy Dalton.
But I would make it a competition. Absolutely, I would definitely make it a competition. So no, I wouldn't just ride out with Stidham. I would, but yeah, he's going to be the front runner because he's been there, and he's a big time ball player. He comes from the SEC, and we all know SEC dominates the draft.
Don't mean they dominate the NFL though.
They dominate the NFL too. Stop it.
I could have swore last week or 2 weeks ago when we were talking about the defensive lineman that left because he had a racially insensitive coach.
Yeah.
And I said, well, he must be good. He's coming from the SEC. And you said everybody that comes from the SEC is not good.
No, I said he comes from Mississippi. And Mississippi's not good in the SEC.
No, you said just because he comes from the SEC don't mean he's good. Now you're stamping Stidham or whatever his name is.
You forget that I had a recruit out of Stevens going to the SEC.
Yeah.
And I coached this guy. I know better. Not everybody that plays in the SEC is good.
Especially not the quarterbacks.
Not to say he's not good, because he was a prototypical fullback. But SEC, I don't know about that.
I'll tell you what I've been saying for a while. The SEC's top heavy.
Very top heavy. They get a lot of credit for being top heavy.
Well, their top heavy is better than a lot of people's biggest their whole conference. You give me 40 guys from the top SEC, not even the top SEC, even the middle grade of the SEC versus Big 10. I'm going, or Big 12. I'm going with them. I'm rolling with SEC.
You talking about players or are you talking about teams?
Players.
Well, I can't argue that.
Big Ten puts players out though.
I mean, if you think about this, the first 3 picks of the NFL draft were all Ohio State kids that Urban Meyer had on campus.
Right, Urban Meyer. He's a different breed. Urban Meyer bring that talent. He's just like Saban. He bring the talent.
Saban?
Saban and Meyer find talent, That's what they do. We don't even know where Saban finds these guys at. We assume that he finds them in a tent down by the riverside.
We know where Saban finds them in the top 10 blue chips.
No.
He ain't out there scouting them.
Me and B-Way talked about this before. We said, where does Saban get these guys? Like, where do you find a 6'2" running back that can run a 4.5? We're talking about
everybody would get him if they could get him. He's in the ESPN top 10.
Nah, man.
He just goes down the list and says, we need a running back. We can use a safety. We can use a quarterback.
Saban finds guys. He finds talent.
His ass couldn't find a quarterback for a long time.
He found Tua.
He didn't really need one either.
He found Jalen Hurts. Saban had 2 quarterbacks go in the top, 40 picks? 2.
Well, once he started getting quarterbacks, he also started losing.
Got away from running the ball.
So what are you thinking is the future plans for the Patriots here? Stidham long term, or are we going with?
Nah, it won't be Stidham long term, probably.
I think Belichick's trying to prove a point, like he did with Matt Castle. He might mess around and try to do it.
Yep.
I do think they're going to bring in like an Andy Dalton. I think
he did win with Castle.
Yeah, he won 11-5.
And the way his house looked, he is focused. He's locked in right now. He don't care about nothing that's going on in the outside world. He can't wait for this quarantine to be over.
I think they're both trying to prove a point, though. I think Brady's trying to prove a point, and I also think Belichick's trying to prove a point.
Brady's making moves. He got Gronk to come back.
He got Brady out there like, yeah, keep playing with me one. Brady's not that good, though, anymore, man. I don't know. He can get it done. They would have a good backup down there.
Can't win with him.
So, can't win with Tom Brady?
Evans going to be pissed. What?
You can't win with Tom Brady?
Not in New England the last 2 years. You won in spite of Brady.
Talking crazy. But speaking of quarterbacks and shift and change, how do you think Aaron Rodgers' weekend was?
I feel like when you get $138 million and you get the amount of money he got guaranteed, like you're secure. How can you be mad about bringing a rookie in? He's not coming in to take your job, and he was in the same shoes, 15 years or so ago.
Yeah, but they could have had a receiver in one of the best receiving classes ever, and they passed on one for a quarterback that's not going to see the field for 3 years. How's that helping you with?
Wasn't all the receivers going, or was Jefferson still there?
They could have. Yeah, Jefferson was still there. They could have got
Rager was still there too.
Now Eagles picked ahead of them.
Yeah,
Rager was gone.
but the bottom line is they could have got better. I don't think they got better.
You're in the NFC Championship last year. You got weapons around them.
Get more, because obviously you didn't have enough.
Never have a bad backup, man. Aaron Rodgers has been out 2 out of the last 3 with collarbone injuries.
Do you want a rookie as your backup?
No, but you want to start grooming one. You don't want to be in the Patriots position going with Jarrett Stidham
and Bill Belichick. If they had Bill Belichick, I would be less worried.
Same thing from the Eagles. I like the Jalen Hurts pick.
I think he's going to be like Jason Hill, whatever his name is, out of New Orleans. Taysom Hill. I think he's going to be that type. I don't think he's replacing Wentz. People are like, "Oh, why would you pay him all this money and then draft a Eagles do stuff like that all the time.
It's a smart move by the Eagles. You talk about a franchise that won a Super Bowl with a backup recently. Had a guy come out off the couch from SportsCenter and had to start for you in an NFC Championship game.
He didn't start.
Starting quarterback, you just pay. He's secure, but he's had an injury history. You got to have a good backup.
If you watch the Eagles play, you saw how bad the secondary was.
They picked up secondary guys in the offseason, though. They picked up 2 corners. One is a shutdown corner.
They got Darius Slay, man. He is shut down.
They kind of took care of all of that. They took care of that. I felt like pretty good in the offseason.
Eagles
they got a ton of receivers. You got a young running back.
Eagles fans been here before when we shut down corners somewhere else.
Asamoah.
And we have to be reminded of that.
I'm saying
we've been here before.
Spend that kind of money on a cornerback and then say we're going to go draft one too. You got to hope you make the right investment.
No, what are you talking about? They just spent all that money on the quarterback.
Yeah, they signed 2
and did the same thing.
They signed 2 DBs in the offseason.
Then get some more. You can never have enough. We got torched
You can never have enough quarterbacks either.
I could have threw for 350 against the Eagles last year.
Who was going to be your backup?
Depth.
You need a backup quarterback. Why not groom one? That's a winner.
It wasn't going to be Sudfeld. We can't go another year with Sudfeld as our backup.
We don't have to groom one when our starter is 5 years in. He's not old. Why do we have to groom a quarterback right now? Go out there and get more depth in the secondary.
Jalen Hurts brings great value. He's going to – what's going to happen is, let's say Wentz stays healthy, and Jalen Hurts, when he does play, looks the part. He looks the part like he did at Oklahoma. Somebody's going to want him. He brings trade value. Just because they draft don't mean they got to keep him. Don't mean he's going to be around. He may be around 3 or 4 years.
You draft him to develop him. I think they're going to try to develop
him. I think he will get developed. And I think if Wentz still looks the part like he looked last year playing with a bunch of nobodies and still winning, Hurts is never going to see the field for us anyway.
That's a waste of a draft pick.
Huh?
That's not a waste.
No, it's not.
A waste of a pick.
If Wentz gets hurt, he's there to bail us out.
Was it a waste when the Packers took Rodgers?
Yeah. At that time?
No.
Yes. Brett Favre could have got a lot. Brett Favre could have got help.
He didn't need help.
Well, Brett Favre wasn't playing at the level Aaron Rodgers is playing at right now either. Brett Favre wasn't coming off an NFC championship when they drafted a quarterback. But back to the Eagles.
One ring each.
But back to the Eagles, you just paid your quarterback one of the biggest quarterback deals in NFL history.
That's why you do it now. You do it now when you're secure. Like, we just paid you. Don't mind this over here. We working.
Don't mind this over here? Yeah, I'm minding over there because I was throwing to MC nobody.
Oh, they got them receivers, though. They went and got them receivers.
We did get a lot of receivers.
They got Marquise Godwin.
We could have got something else somewhere else that could have helped our needs.
You're not making a good argument, B, because look, they called him before they even got to the second round and told Wentz,
I'm not
if
saying
Jalen Hurts is there, we are going to take him.
I'm not saying that the pick is a bad pick. Like, Hurts is good, but what's good is he going to be sitting on our bench for the next 3 years until he's a free agent and then he gets picked up somewhere else.
You went and got a Rager in the first. You went and got a 4-2 guy and got Goodwin.
Rager wasn't a good pick either.
Pro Bowl tight end with Ertz. You got a good tight end in Goddard. Then you got Deshaun Jackson maybe coming back. You got Miles Sanders in the backfield, a rookie last year. And then what? Scott? You got weapons all around Wentz.
So why
draft? I wouldn't say we got weapons. We got some good players. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and call these guys weapons. They may not be. They're not that good.
You're talking about what you're considering, by some people consider a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He got those kind of things around him. He's in a position to be successful.
Oh, I think Wentz, what he did last year with the guys he has around him, I thought it was one of the greatest things. But we have a lot of Eagles guys that just don't like Wentz. It's like, oh, he didn't do nothing.
Because he looks great sometimes in flashes, like the throw he made in the back of the end zone when the comeback against the Giants.
But that's the thing. The last 3 games, he won on game-winning drives to win us those games with no receivers.
Yeah, but against the Giants and the Redskins, though.
Doesn't matter who it's against. A win's a win in the NFL. They're hard to come by.
Good teams. He looked like hot garbage and stretches.
Look, listen, I'm not saying well, first of all, Wentz is going to be the guy. Like, they paid him too much money for him not to be the guy.
Exactly.
But what good is a quarterback going to do on our bench for the next 3 years when we could have picked up any bum off the couch like we did last year who came in and competed in the playoff game for us?
Because you don't want to risk him getting hurt early in the season and saying you got to throw the season away when you just won Super Bowl with Nick Foles.
If you held out long enough, you got brother man Cam Newton's about to back down and realize that he's going to be a backup.
That's way worse.
Dalton's going to be a backup.
Have Cam come in there and him get hurt 2 games and Cam light it up.
I'm just saying your backup options that you have are better than Jalen Hurts. That's all I'm saying.
You're paying Jalen Hurts second-round money. You got him for 5 years. You can't pay Cam Newton that kind of money.
All right, Andy Dalton. We don't know what Cam's going to go to. We don't know what Cam's going to go for.
He ain't going second-round money.
He might.
No, he's not.
He's thinking like you right now. That's why he ain't signed. You see, Jameis Winston.
Signed because he can't get a physical.
Jameis Winston couldn't get a physical either. But you know what he said? Sign me up to play that backup so I can get a check.
Yeah, but Winston turned down more money from Pittsburgh because he wanted to learn under Peyton and be maybe the starter next year on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, he had a better shot of being the starter in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but he wants to learn from Sean Payton, he said, and have a chance to go. Reed's already signed with what was it? Who he signed with? The dude, ESPN?
Yeah.
He's already signed for next year. This is last year.
Yeah, he signed.
So all I'm saying is that there's better backup options out here than a rookie quarterback.
But he didn't sign for next year, so he just signed, period. Until when he's done playing football, he said that's what he's gonna work. So, well, that's probably gonna be next year.
And it frustrates me to see the Eagles have I'll say a C draft. C is the letter grade I'm giving them.
I'm giving them a B minus.
And the Dallas team come out here and get an A.
No, Dallas did not attack their needs. They went and got CeCe, so we didn't get them.
That works.
That's smart,
I'm going to say that works.
Take the best available.
I didn't say it wasn't smart for them to do it to us. But they didn't need them. It wasn't like they were hurt from receivers. They didn't do nothing for their defense. It don't matter. But we're going to score. We're going to score 50 on them. We're going to score 45, 50 on them.
But you got to think about that mentality of taking what you need, get you Sam Bowie instead of Jordan. Sometimes you got to go best available and make it work.
And they did what they did. I'm just saying.
And they did get a corner in the second round, the one from Alabama, Diggs' brother. So, like, it's
he's a safety.
He's going to play corner for them.
One of the best corners in the league. And Byron Jones.
And they drafted one. So they're going to be –
They drafted a safety. He's a safety. He's not a corner.
Well, I think he's going to play corner for them.
Oh, you think so? Now you're in your locker room. That's what I said. He's gone.
But, yeah, that's what the Diggs is listed as a corner.
Let's see how that works out.
But what I'm saying is they had a better draft than Philly. There's no head scratchers over there.
The draft, man. Nobody knows. In 3 years from now, we'll see. There's no exact science to this.
I agree with that.
And these guys
agree.
do this, they scout year round. They do this all year for these 3 days. I try to see what happens.
And plus, CD Lamb, you know what he's going to do to that girl for grabbing his phone. So he ain't gonna be around. He ain't gonna be around long.
That was dirty, man.
He said y'all gotta chill. The agent was calling while he's on the phone with the coach. He tried to answer the FaceTime.
Man, they be like, man, listen. I know what it's done. What you gotta do is answer FaceTime, and that's not what she was doing. Cause she was going hit like this. FaceTime is one swipe. It's a swipe over to answer the FaceTime. That's it. There's nothing else to it.
Do you honestly think she would have won and reached for the phone at that point in that man's life and went and look for some girls or text, whatever she was looking for?
He was bad though. Because a lot of players in the draft were sitting there with some bullshit.
She looked like she was a little embarrassed by it though. You could tell right away she was embarrassed.
Well, she was reading the online comments. It went viral.
No, but right after it happened, before that he snatched it back, he was looking at it, he was like this, and then she was just had a little dumbass look on her face, like
she had the I eat ass face.
Yeah, and his mom kind of looked over like she didn't know what was going on. Like, nah, you know what's going on. Your son just got physical with this girl.
Well, she could have.
What was even better though? What was better? The mom lifting the white chick off the dude.
That was the best. That was the best.
Yo, that's
her fighting back though.
Dude, she is the disrespect.
She must have been dating black guys for a long time.
Yo, I would have.
You guys are wild.
If somebody went and moved me like that, I'd have been scared. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
Mom was like, you better get up. She was like, nah.
Yo, that was crazy.
Hey man, well we got to wrap this up, man. You guys got shout outs to give?
Man, shout out. I gotta make a good shout out because tomorrow always says shout out to no one, and that's just rude. I feel like it's just a rude thing to do. Shout out to the public servants and the healthcare workers of our time.
That include me?
Yeah, it includes you today.
I'll take it.
There we go.
Governors and mayors, except if you're the mayor of Las Vegas. Everybody else, shout out to y'all.
The governor of Florida too is struggling.
Yeah.
That's not Rudolph. You got any shout outs?
One more shout out to Lysol disinfectant.
Put it in your veins. Oh, man.
That's not Rudolph. What you got?
Yeah, I want to shout out Captain Martin. He got hurt on a fire training this week. I went to the academy with him. You know, he's got 3 broken ribs, got a metal plate in his knee. He's going to be out for a few months. Give him a speedy recovery.
You get his medical report, man. That's HIPAA.
It is HIPAA. I put his government out there. Shout outs to Captain Martin, though. Get better. Since I don't ever have no shout outs. Expect the unexpected.
Shout out to Captain Martin.
Captain Martin.
Shout out to him. I'm going with the regular 7-letter family. All the essential employees still out here grinding. Doing what you got to do. We appreciate you. Other than that, we got anything else, fellas?
No. I had a lot of research on that Wonderlic test, but we ain't going to get to it today.
We do got to get to it, though. We do got to get to it. Hey, and make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, at OF Podcast Boys, Opinionated Facts Podcast on Instagram, Opinionated Facts on Facebook as well. Other than that, stay laid up, stay prayed up, stay out the way, and listen to what some old folks have to say. See you guys next week. Peace.